Hey, welcome to the Unscripted Pause. And this today is really so very unscripted. I haven't posted in a while because um, among a number of reasons, one of the things is I really needed to get a new webcam. I needed a new webcam, I needed a new mic, and yeah, the two that I had just weren't working together. Anyway, that's enough about that. So I just got a new webcam. It came in the other day, so I decided to go ahead and post. Today is very, very, very unscripted. Usually it's unscripted, like I don't have a script that I use, but I usually have a good idea about what I'm going to say. I don't really have a good idea about what I'm going to say today. Um, I'm I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm feeling a lot of things today, a lot of things right now. But I feel like it's the end of the year, and it's like a good time to reflect and be grateful. And so that's what all of a sudden right now in this moment I'm realizing, oh, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna talk about. So it's been an interesting year, right? If you've been with me from the beginning, it's been you know, it's been interesting, right? I like left a job a year ago at the end of last year, um, started my own consulting and coaching business for philanthropy and for philanthropic advisors. Um, that has probably gone better than I expected it to. Not really sure what I expected because I really didn't intend to do that. Um, so that's really lovely. That I have work. I love that. Really grateful for that. Um, then we moved. We moved from Houston back home to Columbus. Technically, we're in Groveport, but we moved from Texas back to Ohio. So there's been like a lot of big change in my life, but this year, but in reflecting, it's been really good. Right? It's been hard. Mm, not saying that this hasn't been hard. It's been hard. Let me be very clear. It's been hard, but it has been good. I would be lying if I didn't say it'd been good. And even though I didn't intend of starting my own consulting business, I'm really happy that I did. Really feel really happy about that. And let me tell you why I feel happy about that. The the freedom, the freedom and flexibility that I've been given feels like such an amazing gift to myself and to Tommy. Um, Really an amazing gift that I still am able to do the work that I love doing, but more so it's more on my terms now, which I really never kind of thought about that or even imagined that as a thing. I like if you like I when I say I never wanted to work for myself or have my own, oh, that's not true. I did at one point think I wanted to have my own business, but the reason why I never really seriously considered is because I didn't want the response. Like it's a lot of responsibility. You know, if you think about it on your own, like you got to pay the taxes, you got to, get your own insurance, you got to make sure you're going to be able to retire one day. All of those things that when you work for a company, they're taking care of all of that. I kind of like that. But again, I'm super grateful for how this happened when I wasn't expecting it to happen. And then regarding the move, my gosh, I'm so grateful to be back home. And, there were a number of reasons why we moved back home. One of them was to be closer to family, but that wasn't the only reason, right? Um, but I'm so glad that we did. And I don't know if I've said this before, like being in Groveport, we're now like 10 minutes away from my two sisters that still live here. So I love that. And my one sister, Melissa, we try to have coffee once a week, go to a new coffee shop and have coffee. I absolutely love that. And, just the idea of I can see my sisters when I want to, I can see my nieces and nephews and my great nieces and nephews, and Tommy's daughters and his grandchildren, and it really is quite a blessing. Really is quite a blessing. Now, mind you, we've been here 2 months. It has snowed 3 times. It has snowed 3 times since we've been here. With this last snow being the most. We probably got about 3 to 4 inches. Which isn't horrible, but it's been really cold. Like waking up in the morning, it's in the single digits, and the wind chill is below zero. That kind of cold. And I'm like, I have to remind myself, girl, you grew up in this. This ain't new. This ain't new to you. And they're like, oh yeah, right. But I've been away from it for 9 years. Um, so it's like it takes a little bit of getting used to again. But yeah, and just being grateful for all of it. We really love the place that we're in, and even though we didn't buy another house, and we're in an apartment. I'm all, well, if you looked at a past video of mine where I talked about home ownership and what I don't love about it, I'm glad to be in an apartment. And this apartment feels really comfortable for us, and it's got just enough space. So I am filled with gratitude. I am filled with gratitude right now. And and I really needed this because this hasn't been like the greatest day. It started off fine, then like a couple of things happened that kind of got me in my feelings and got me really, like kind of angry. Um, but then, I just kept feeling this nudging to just sit down here and record a video. And it really is to get this gratefulness out and off of me. So I want you to reflect, if you haven't yet, because it is the end of the year, so maybe you've been reflecting already. And I know we get so caught up in like, oh, what do we want for the new year and what is going to, I don't usually make resolutions, but I try to think like, how do I want to be better for the year? And sometimes I try to have a word for the year. Sometimes. I didn't do that this year, but sometimes I try to do that. But just take a moment. Don't think about next year. Don't think about tomorrow, but think about what has happened in your year and think about all the good things that have happened and reflect on, the gratefulness that you have like for the things that have happened. Because even if some bad things have happened, because certainly I had some bad things happen this year, but even with the bad things that happen, like the good always outweighs the bad, and God's favor and mercy always outweighs the bad stuff. Always, always outweighs the bad stuff. So take some time to reflect. I don't think this will be my last video for the year. I think I'll do another one towards the end of the year, but there's only a couple more weeks left. So, um, but just be well, reflect on the goodness of your past year, not just like crazy bad things that have happened, but reflect on the good. I know we're in a crazy place in the world and shootings, and we got a crazy administration in that I'm completely embarrassed by, but there's still good. There's still so much good and so much to be grateful for. So I hope you can take some time and reflect on what you're grateful for from the past year. All right, be well.